Burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live, burn live. It's going down, baby. Burning through ashes, trying to make common sense. What what it do, y'all? Burn live, y'all. Where we burn through conversation, trying to ask y'all some common sense. I appreciate people coming through, stopping through. What's up? What it do? What it do? Tonight is gonna be a breaking news covering story. Breaking news covering story. Once again, tonight is gonna be a breaking news covering story. Why I didn't have that. Breaking news covering story. Breaking news covering story. We will be covering the shooting that happened in Australia, something that's not normally happen. I want to get deeper into this. This is a special live dedicated to that. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it.
Hanukkah event in Australia. Dramatic video shows the moments a bystander rushed in and disarmed one of the alleged shooters. At least 15 people were killed and dozens more injured. The victims range in age from 10 to 87. Police say the two suspects are a father and son. Here's ABC's Marcus Moore.
Tonight, chaos at Australia's famed Bondi Beach. Hundreds running for their lives as a pair of gunmen opened fire on a crowd gathered to celebrate. The suspects, identified as a father and his son, killing at least 15 people and leaving 40 more wounded. Authorities say bloodshed could have been murderous if not for the heroic actions of a bystander. On Sunday night, a celebration underway, people smiling and laughing. But the festive mood quickly turned to terror.
Everyone was just running and there were bullets and there were so many of them and we were really scared.
Video of a pedestrian bridge firing long guns. More than 1,000 people were on the popular beach at the time, victims ranging from 10 to 87 years old. Among those killed was one of the organizers of the event, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, seen here on Instagram, who served as a rabbi and chaplain in the Bondi community for 18 years. But despite the danger, a brave bystander confronting one of the gunmen, jumping from behind a car, wrestling for control of the weapon, that Good Samaritan who police have identified as Ahmad Al-Ahmad, suffering multiple gunshot wounds, currently recovering in the hospital. And tonight, he's being hailed around the world as a hero.
A very, very brave person, actually, who went and attacked frontally one of the shooters and saved a lot of lives.
Lindsay, police say one suspect, the father, was killed, the other, his son, taken into custody in critical condition. Authorities saying they also found 2 improvised explosive devices at the scene, now calling this a terrorist attack targeting the Jewish community. Lindsay.
Marcus Moore for us. Thank you.
Why?
Something that's have never been done at this extreme measure that happened in Australia. I understand now over here to us it's probably more common. It's more seen theatrical as we have a lot of terror shooting. We have a lot of shooting of that caliber over here, which is bad. It's bad to say that, you know what I'm saying? It's bad to admit that, but I'm only here to admit the truth, you know what I'm saying, and shed a light on something that is crazy that a father and son. So you know they had the same ideology, teaching your son that something is wrong that you disagree upon, and then to react on it. We're gonna go out here and actually cause harm to people because we disagree upon them, or we don't celebrate the same thing that they celebrate. It shouldn't be like that. It's crazy that we even have to see stuff like this happen. I got more coverage of it. Like I said, I'm gonna be going over coverages for a bit, at least good 45 minutes to an hour. There are some other things to cover. I might just actually have to cover another show. But yet again, I do just want to keep y'all informed of what's going in, giving y'all the most recent update. Like right now, no. There's something going on. There's actually a shooting that's going on in Boston too. So I'm trying to keep up with both of them right now. There's a mass shooting in Boston. Switching the subject, I'm gonna go to the live or the mayor talking.
And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Oscar Perez. We've known a long time, worked a lot of cases with Chief Perez. He's terrific. He's leading a great team here. Again, I wish you could have seen the work the other night. We have not yet solved this case, but I'm confident we're going to do that. And I'm confident we're going to do that in the very near future. So, Chief Perez.
Thank you, General Judge. Good evening. We're here again today, obviously, to reiterate the General just stated, as well as the mayor. This person of interest will be released. And I want to make sure that we all understand that this was a very complex investigation, and it still is. So in the sense, we followed on a lead, and we followed on this specific lead, but we're able to examine every single evidence that led us to this individual. And at that point, that's how investigations work. Investigations will tell us whether something is valid or not, whether something needs to be ruled out. It's not a mistake. It's just how investigations work. And our responsibility is to make sure that we conduct the proper investigations. When I saw you all earlier today, I'm very proud of the detective work that they do. Detectives that work throughout the night, as the general stated, we're here last night, making sure that we lift every rock, that we investigate everything we needed to investigate, because we're not in the business of putting people in jail that don't deserve to be. And so at this point, we'll continue to follow on every lead that comes our way. Our federal partners are on board. We'll be meeting again tomorrow with them and continue to do the work that we need to do to bring this person who's responsible to justice. And I'm proud to say that in the morning, we'll be reuniting with the detectives. So the detectives worked all night. They're still working as we speak. And we'll continue our investigations. So, questions?
Do you believe that the person who was in the video that you released last night is still a suspect, or is that the person that you detained and is now being released?
The person that we detained?
Person from the video that you released last night, is that the person you detained this morning?
At this point, we don't have enough evidence to corroborate that, so no.
Do you still think that that person from the video, surveillance video, is the suspect that you're looking for?
Yes, Stephanie. What we saw in the video is the person we're looking for. Correct.
I would describe that person as a person of interest. So there are a lot of unknowns in this case, and that's one unknown yet, Steph. That's what we're working towards.
So is it safe to say that you all believe at this point is the...
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words,
No way of knowing. And the investigation is ongoing. We continue to follow leads that have been developed over the last day and a half, and we're continuing to ask for help. One of the things that Providence Police will be doing, and we should let our neighbors know is that we are searching for additional video evidence. And so neighbors in the area of Brown University should expect to see Providence Police in the neighborhood canvassing, looking for additional evidence, specifically looking for additional video evidence. And we are looking for additional video evidence. There's been several questions over the last day and a half about videos at Brown and in the building. The videos at Brown in the building have been examined, and at this time we have no additional actionable information from the video that has been reviewed from the building. And so we are looking for new and additional video evidence, and neighbors in the community should expect to see Providence Police along with our partners. And we're, again, very grateful for the resources we've received from the state police because of the governor's support and our federal partners. But
ladies and gentlemen, that is a shooting that's going down in Boston. When I get more coverage, I will cover it for you. I'm not sure. I just seen it, so I wanted to update you on that. Other than that, y'all, the main thing that has been going across the network is the fact that there's been a crazy mass shooting in Australia. Yet again, I'm waiting on the Boston. As soon as I get more from Boston, I will let you know at least what's going on over there. Matter of fact, this is it right here.
Brown have been canceled, and students have been told they can go home if they wish. But getting past the events of yesterday will be beyond hard for many. And with that in mind, WBZ's Paul Burton spoke with the roommate of a student who perished in the gunfire.
Very stressful, and it's very sad, especially for the victims.
Emotions are high and hearts are broken on the Brown University campus in Providence.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything you can really do to like.
Some heading home for the holiday break after Saturday's deadly mass shooting.
What I do know will be felt throughout this community because his soul truly did reverberate throughout the community.
Freshman Kamari Mans is trying to process the loss of his roommate. He says he was one of the two people killed in Saturday's shooting. He describes him as compassionate and thoughtful.
He's kind. He reached out to me as soon as we got our roommate assignments. And then most important, he was just present. Whatever you asked him to do, he was always there for you.
The freshman wrestler says during the lockout, he was reaching out to all of his teammates and fellow classmates, but he did not hear back from his roommate.
Something didn't feel right because I texted him and then he didn't text back. And then finally, around 10 o'clock this morning, somebody confirmed it for me.
He says he was extremely smart and studying neuroscience. He says he will miss his warm, gentle spirit.
Just a ball of joy, ball of energy. He's honestly makes sure everybody else he raises everybody else a certain level. He makes sure you have your stuff done. He makes sure he has his stuff done. He's just always there.
Brown University students obviously overwhelmed and now beginning to process what has happened here over the last 24 hours. And one thing I've noticed is that this is a strong-knit community, and they say they will stand together as they mourn the death of their fellow classmates and those who have been injured in this tragedy. In Providence, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
So this what happened the other day. This is what happened the other night. Brown University happened the other night, but still got tragedy talking about it today. So that's what happened there. Yet again, what happened earlier today is what happened in Australia. What I started off with, I just wanted to make sure that I kind of covered both to let people know what's going on. Now, to hear about the mass shooting in Australia, that's the one I really want to get to.
To the United Nations, Danny Danone. First of all, your thoughts about this horrific attack in Australia, Mr. Ambassador.
John, tonight was supposed to be a night of celebration for the entire Jewish community around the world, the first night of Hanukkah. And unfortunately, we got the reports about the horrific terror attack from Sydney, and we send our condolences to the community in Australia. But to be honest with you today, John, we knew it was coming. You know, we saw what happened in Australia in the last 24 months, the anti-Semitism, the hate, and the fact that the government was silenced, complicit with those attacks. Only a few months ago, a synagogue was set on fire in Melbourne, and the authorities did nothing. And that's what's happening today in Australia, a weak government that allows radicals to promote hate. And then we see those horrible scenes of innocent Jews being killed, being massacred when they come to celebrate, to pray in a holiday, which is all about unity and light.
I want to play for you some of what Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said just a moment ago at that news conference. He says they're fighting against anti-Semitism. Listen.
This was an attack deliberately targeted at the Jewish community on the first day of Hanukkah, which of course should be a joyous celebration. And the Jewish community are hurting today. Today, all Australians wrap our arms around them and say, we stand with you. We will do whatever is necessary to stamp out anti-Semitism. It is a scourge and we will eradicate it together.
If that is always easy to say that, but it's true, they found a couple of improvised explosive devices, apparently on this father and son who they say are responsible for this attack. They had 6 guns. Apparently the father was licensed in Australia, a country that has very strict gun laws. He was licensed to have these firearms. So it could have been worse. But with a death toll like this, you know, it is just absolutely appalling. And people like the Prime Minister and the New South Wales Premier say they're not going to tolerate any more of this kind of anti-Semitism. But it sounds like you think it's already kind of baked into the cake down there.
Indeed, and I think they will have to look deeper to what happened there. You know, I spoke with some of my friends in Sydney, and they told me it took the police almost 30 minutes to neutralize the threat. And we saw the video of the brave bystanders who actually was courageous enough to neutralize one of the.
Do we think it's easy to get rid of bystanders in a crowd full of people? We got to get them, move those out the way and try to get suspect. Actually, that's what I meant. Trying to go get the suspect in a crowd full of victims. You really can't have a shootout with a victim in a crowd full of people. That's what police officers can't do. Now, I don't know about Australia. It amazes me when people say, oh, you know, people took too long. Now, I knew it was a big debate about the one school mass shooting where it took the police officers a long time to get up in there while the gunman was in there doing what he was doing in the school. I get that. I remember that. But we, the people, citizens, and we're just innocent bystanders. We don't think about, we don't take the time out to remember what are the procedures that they have to go through, because most of us don't even know the procedures. A lot of y'all don't care what the procedures are. So therefore, you're going to do what you do. And yet again, like this guy right here who wants to protest the guys took 30 minutes, but yet again, don't know what procedures, got to talk to the higher ups. Unfortunately, politics do play a part in some rescues and stuff like that, which people on both sides, we all as people we don't like that. We don't like that. So, you know what I'm saying? I just want to point that out. Like, we really can't be pointing fingers when it comes to time, because yet again, breaking things down to understand that this was a terrorist attack, you know, you still got to watch out for innocent bystanders. You just can't go in there guns blazing. Take some consideration into the situation.
Terrorist, but where were the police for 30 minutes? You know, it took them to take care of this situation. And at that,
look at this little area, y'all. This is the beach. People coming, people parking. This is where the person opened fire at, as we were seeing the person in the parking lot. On this looked like it was a bridge right here. This is where the person intervened at on the gunman, which is caught on camera, which is going viral. This is a big area. There's no telling. Like, this is where part of Australia it happened in over here. Understandable. But understand this, and one thing we don't know is how far is the police station from this area. How long does it take to get to this area from the police station? You know, he's not gonna say that.
That time, you had those two terrorists on the bridge. You know, now it's 16, and unfortunately, we are afraid that there will be more because many of the people are severely wounded and being treated in hospitals now.
The Prime Minister says Australia will never submit to division, violence, or hatred. We will come through this together. We refuse to let them divide us as a nation. There are indications that Iran was involved in some of the past terror incidents in Australia. Would you be surprised if Iran was somehow involved in this one?
Absolutely not. You know, we're not going into details about the incident in Australia today, but I can tell you that we know for a fact that they have been trying to target Jewish communities and Israeli targets in the last few months. Even my colleague, the ambassador in Mexico City, was under threat from Hezbollah and from Iranian cells that penetrated Mexico. And we all remember what happened in Argentina when the Jewish community and the Israeli embassy were attacked by the Iranian proxies. So yes, we have the knowledge about the intention of Iran and Hezbollah, but when you have a weak government and the penetration of radical elements into this country, it's a problem. In the past, when we had intel, we sent it to the colleagues in Australia and we prevented some of the attacks, but unfortunately, not always we have that intel.
Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Danny Danon. Mr. Ambassador, thank you.
Prayers go out to Australians, to the Jews, for those who didn't make it. Sad moment.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
Shout
they
out.
told me
Oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all. Prayers go out to the Boston victims too. Also, tragic moment. We all want to blame a person on what we feel is hate, what we think is hate. We blame you for this, we blame you for that. How about we stop blaming and just understand we know that it's happening? Because I talked to my one friend, and we disagree on a lot of things. We disagree on a lot of things. But one thing we come together on every time is that when something is actually happening, and you be like, okay, it's happening. So let me not deny that it's happening. Mass shootings is one. Taxes is two. When we're facing these things, these emotional virtues and blah, blah, blah. When we're facing these things that are at virtue, I'm gonna put it like that. When we're facing things that's at virtue, we seem to wonder why. And the why is always the secret, because when you know the why, then you can point to the when and where. So you can get to the root of the problem. Everybody's covering this gunfighting. I got different news coverage. I think basically everybody's gonna just probably say the same thing. From the BC right here.
After 15 people. It is Australia's worst mass shooting in nearly 30 years after 15 people.
That's what I'll be tripping on to. The worst mass shooting after 30 years. Worst mass shooting our second worst mass shooting, I think they say, is October 1st in Nevada.
Died, including a 10-year-old girl, during celebrations for a Jewish festival in Sydney. 40 others remain in hospital.
It's like the Israel fight just moving all around. The Israel-Gaza fight just moving all around the world when it comes to Jews, huh? Everybody want to pick on the Jews. Because yet again, you do hear a lot of people on social media that talks about how the Jews are rich, how the Jews are this, how the Jews are that. So I'm not saying it, just saying what the media is. I don't want to get striking all that good stuff, but yet again, you see these points, you see these times, you see these moments like this. And what else can you say or do? I mean, am I calling a spade a spade? Just saying what I see what I say.
Now, it happened at Bondi Beach at a gathering marking the beginning of Hanukkah. Police say it was a terrorist attack. Tonight,
that's that what area that we see the bridge, and they're pointing towards the beach.
BBC. It shows two gunmen firing indiscriminately from a small bridge towards a park and beach area. One man then leaves but keeps firing.
Yet again, they haven't gave these people names. No names. Like, we should know the names by now. This guy got Opry head right here. Love this picture right here. Everybody should be using this as a thumbnail. I'm not good with thumbnails. This is exhausting to keep seeing this, and like, I don't know, like, to see it spreading. Like, you just covered it. This gets exhausting. Like, there's so much other things I thought I was gonna be able to cover. I was gonna put something up there in the news thing, but gotta cover this. Ladies and gentlemen, I might as well I think I'm gonna just stop this and probably come back live and do a whole no live so I can talk about other things. But yeah, this is it right here. Once I get done with this, I'm probably gonna go live and then repost this. Yeah.
Violence continues. A bystander tackles the gunman, grabbing his weapon. He's now been hailed a hero and named locally as Ahmed. Other bystanders step in to help. Well, one of the gunmen was late.
Yeah, I would have heard a gunman name. We know the person that saved the day's name. Ahmed. I need to hit the CCs up. Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. I don't know what the heck happened. I want to see how you say his name. Ahmed.
Now been hailed a hero and named locally as Ahmed Al-Ahmed. Other bystanders step in to help. Well, one of the gunmen was later killed, and the second suspect is now in a critical condition in hospital. We'll bring you.
That's why you're not releasing his name. That's why. Because you release his name, people coming up to the hospital. Oh, me. You're not making it about that hospital. You want to be able to prosecute this person, go in his home, see what. Because right now, if he's in a critical condition in the hospital, which I doubt it. For some reason, I doubt it. I'm not saying they're lying. Some things you can doubt. One guy didn't make it. Other one is in critical condition in the hospital. Is he really in critical condition, or did y'all beat him up that bad? We don't know. Is he, It sounds like more to me is like, no offense. I hear me out. It sounds more like to me that you want to keep him alive before put him in the jail, and people in jail, you know what I'm saying? Because family members got people in jail. Hey, when this person get in jail, hey, get at him. You want to keep him alive so he can die. So you can see his bio of why he did this and why they did this. Because this is a family affair.
Action from around the world, including here in the UK. But first, Katie Watson has our top story tonight from Bondi Beach. Her report contains some distressing scenes.
What's the fastest way to go from recording to publishing? Meet Riverside, the content creation.
Horror on Bondi, an unimaginable.
Is my boy looking with goggles? Chilling? Oh, he's recording. My boy right here, y'all. My white tee, white shorts. Come on, dog. My boy just sitting there recording. Everybody else running. Them the things that people look odd at, and unfortunately, the FBI is going to question him. Like, hey, he's going to get questioned, and people are going like, why would you question a person like him? For the simple fact that he's looking in the opposite direction, not running, not feeling no terror. People would think that he's calm. We can't see that well. Y'all want me to get y'all to the big screen. Y'all like Capiche. You on the little screen, homie? Bam. Is it this one? Nope. So, put them on the big screen. You see my mouse. You see the phone right here. Where everybody looking at. To run. I mean, you can almost, if I probably rewind this and put it in slow motion, you will probably almost see these people right here. Most likely running in the same direction. You even see look at the waterway. The waterway, the V. That's how a detective and people are dissecting that, and then they're going to look at this guy and be like, okay, yeah. Because good cameras, hey, everybody got good cameras, everybody got good phones. Get it. I get it. But what you ain't doing is zooming from here way over there, thinking that you're going to get that shooter in sight. That's what people are going to think. That's how people are thinking.
Horror on Bondi, an unimaginable scene on Australia's most famous beach. People running, but from what? At this point, few understood what was unfolding.
You hear the echo. How you not know what's unfolding? You see a lot of people running, you hear the echo. You heard the echo.
Into the window, and I just saw a guy in a white car on top of it, letting off shots going off. And then there was an older lady who was on the right-hand side of the parkway who was put down. So I saw her go down, and I saw a guy on the left-hand side go down.
And it was like a grandma. She was bleeding a lot. And then like a lot of people, they've been crying. Some people, they became white as well. And yeah, it felt very sad for the Jewish community because it was like a party for them.
The two gunmen were father and son.
Father and son. Black tea. I don't know why person said it white, unless I heard what he said incorrectly.
Indiscriminately targeting what was meant to be a family celebration of Hanukkah. Some 1,000 people enjoying the Jewish Festival of Lights in a small park overlooking the water. After a long standoff with police, the father was shot dead, his son seriously injured. He's been named by local media as 24-year-old Naveed Akram from Bonnyrigg in Sydney's south.
Oh, now we get somewhere, y'all. Oh, that's dope. I didn't know I could do that. I swear. I never even thought about moving that thing. Oh, sorry.
West. The weapons used in the shooting were licensed to the older gunman.
We are satisfied that we have 6 firearms from the scene yesterday, but also as a result of the search warrant at the Campsie address. Ballistics and forensic investigation will determine this morning that those 6 firearms are the 6 that were licensed to that man, but also that they were used in the offence yesterday at Bondi.
These are confronting scenes in a country that prides itself on its low rates of violent crime. A sunny Sunday at the beach turned into a nightmare. Local Bondi residents desperately trying to save people's lives. Victims as young as 10, as old as 87. Among those who died, London-born Rabbi Eli Schlanger, a father of 5 who worked at a Jewish cultural centre in Bondi.
What we saw yesterday was an act of pure evil, an act of anti-Semitism, an act of terrorism on our shores in an iconic Australian location, Bondi Beach, that is associated with joy, associated with families gathering, associated with celebrations.
Most people ran when the shots rang out. This man didn't, and he's been hailed a hero. Named locally as Ahmed Al-Ahmed, he made the brave decision to pounce on the gunman from behind.
Yet again, stories that we done heard over and over and over again. Sad day in Australia. I wanted to cover this. Tragic day. Another tragic day in history. Just like Israel, October 7th. Just like Nevada, October 1st, 9/11, 2001. We got to watch out for certain ideology when it's pushed around. I know we want freedom, but we still got to be careful. Over here in America, y'all, stay strapped and put the gun to the hip, carry it around you, please. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're watching this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, Capiche. This is the Burn Live Show. We burn through conversation trying to ash out common sense. I appreciate you stopping through. Until next time, we're gone. Bye-bye.